Hello. It's time for the fifth and last part of the Brook Trout painting series, and I don't have a fish to show you anymore. It went home 3 weeks ago. So I'm working on other things now, painting a char, making teeth for a pike. So I'm keeping busy, but there is no Brook Trout to show anymore. So we'll have to do this without it. Anyway, there is a lot of things happening in this clip. I am fixing the fins on the dorsal side with the pattern on it. I am fixing the head colors. I am doing a lot of adjustments in the colors on different parts of it. The final touches. And finally I'm putting in micas and pearls to get some spark in it too. So lots of things happening, and I have been thinking about the format for the first 4 clips that I think probably moved a little bit too slowly because I was talking so much. So I have been trying to cut down a little bit on the explanations here without losing too much information, and putting some information in the form of rolling texts or pictures instead. And what I would like to ask you is this better? Do you like it better this way? Because I would have so much use for that information in the future clips that I am going to do. So please put a comment in the comments to this clip if this is better, or if I should go back to doing it the way I did it in the first 4 clips. Thank you, and let's go on to the painting. So it will be the same story again. I will brush some yellow on here to create a base similar to this yellow base color all the way out on the fin. And I see that it is going a little bit towards orange out at the end of the fin. And what I want to find now is, of course, a tone here that is corresponding with this tone here. So I am getting there. You can see that already, but it's going to take a few coats. I'm also going to go on with some yellow here and restore this spot pattern just a little bit. And I think that yellow is getting very close now, but it's going to have to be more yellow out here. Maybe I even need to use a little white here to brighten it up. And what I have managed to avoid here now by doing it this way is to get that opaque looking, that yellow on a dark bottom easily becomes. I have the transparency in the paint that is still creating a lot of different shades within the yellow, and that gives the fin or the color much more life. And I'm not going to use a very red tone, more like an orange tone to just make it a little bit warmer up here on top to correspond with that one, maybe. Like that. And one more round of yellow there and I'm done with this. So now, before I do anything more here, it's the same story as on the other fins. Transparency agent, at least 5 coats, I think. I have, of course, isolated the layers under here with clear coat, as I always use for this. And now that is not dry yet. You can see that I moved paint around a little here, which means it isn't staying in place when I stipple. It hasn't dried up enough. And as always, a good hairdryer makes the wait a little shorter. I think maybe I'll have a look and see what a coat of Payne's Grey will do to this now, because I am searching for a rather dark tone here. I'm well on my way. But I am going to need more, I think, still Payne's Grey, and then I need to darken it down. So let's see where this tone goes if I add some raw umber to it. And as I said, if you want something to go almost black, but not use black, a mixture of raw umber and Payne's Grey usually goes there. So Payne's Grey again then. And let's get that dry and see where we are at, because when these paints dry, they change tone a little, and a bit of the blue in the wet color disappears. So what I'll do now is I'll go on with the alcohol, and I'll start with the yellow spots that are already there. Just clean up what I want. So let's just try a little on the adipose fin and see what happens. If I can make a little bit of pattern there too. I think we are done with that. I'll give this a few minutes to dry, and then I will give it a spray of clear coat again, and then the colors will really pop. So the head is what remains now, and I'll start with making these parts and some of the mouth parts white, or whiter at least, because that's what I see in the reference, and the cheeks yellow, because they are a mottled variation of the yellow in the spots and the green here, but not these sharp edges that are in the spots, more like just shading back and forth between these and some blotches and so on. So I will start with yellow there and white there, and that will be the base for the painting. I'll switch over to white for a while. So this is starting to get where it should be. This side is better in the variation than this side, but they are both going to be good. I can create this blotchiness on the other side too later on, but I am going to do some blotchy stippling with white on this side just to start that. So I'll take some white and just put a few dabs on, and then maybe. And now let's just stipple that with yellow and see where it goes. Just a spot of yellow and see, I'm getting that here. Or what is going to be that, at least in a little while. So, more variation. I need to stipple darker shades there too, but that's a start. To create a little bit more shine in places in the cheeks of this head, I am using a bit of not watered out in the middle there paintbrush grade pearl, and just stippling it on in places just a little bit irregularly like this, and in those parts that I made white, and then just a little bit of after adjustment with a finger is a good way to make it look more like the irregular bits of spark that you find in these parts of the head, like that. And on top of that, a little bit of diluted yellow, and that is stippled out with the ordinary way. That's not good. And this is Payne's Gray again, by the way. You see, do you see all these little spots in the blotchiness that you might think is a flaw, that you would want to have more smooth in the transitions? That's not actually right. You should have it that way, because the color is made up of pigment cells, and each spot here could represent the pigment cell, and that is actually adding to the natural look impression of this. And one of the best taxidermists in the world ever, Matthias Farney, he is specialized in extremely small fish, and his skin mounts were absolutely flawless. You would not believe that it wasn't a real fish fresh out of the water. He once told me that when he paints a fish, he has small paintbrushes that makes it possible for him to, with a microscope, just put in the pigment spots one by one. I can't do it that on this one and on bigger fish, but I'm trying to use the brush strands to add that to that impression. And one way to do that is to not stipple too much, but just give it a little, see there? So I'm giving it some umber now, which will neutralize the blue tone a little. And then some blue again. Payne's grey, I mean. Let's try a little yellow and green around here, and then some black sooty coming up here and on that part of the jaw. And to make that green, a drop of Payne's grey or two. I'm actually using a little bit of green paint here, which seems to be the only place that I haven't mixed yellow and blue to get green. That kind of green that some of them have here around the nose. So the last thing I'm going to do to this body coloration is some tone adjustments, and I'm going to put some shading into this green so that it isn't so uniform. It's quite uniform now, and that of course comes from that I sprayed it on instead of stippling it on. I'm going to use some of this. This is the black brown that I mixed before, and just put in some dark spots using my fingers. Now I said you paint with everything. You paint with your fingers, you paint with paintbrushes, with sponges, with just about everything. And just by dabbing on a little here and then just making it almost disappear again with your fingers, you can create some variation in this green. I'm going to make some fleshy tones here in the whites and on the cheeks and so on, and just a bit. And that means magenta and Payne's grey again. So a little bit of magenta on this maxillary bone here. Like that, maybe. And even on the cheeks themselves, like that. And I'm not going to use any Payne's grey. I'm going to put some more glow in the reds with powders, just a little bit. And I usually use the lid just to make sure I don't get too much on the brush, because this is very easily becomes too much. I have super copper, which is a warmer tone. That I can also use here on the belly a little. And for the head, a few golds. A warm Aztec gold and a brighter, colder, brilliant gold. Brilliant gold corresponds quite well with the greener parts here. So I think I can use it also on the lower parts of these fins. Maybe some Aztec gold up here where the fin turns a little orange. And in the belly, beautiful. So what happens if that's beautiful.